A stupa placed on the land, everybody walking around it together, it's kind of a sole singular focal point, right? You could appreciate people doing it from afar, but how does this stupa relate to everybody all over the world? As an epic world peace center or place, how does it relate to individuals who live in other countries like Austria or Germany or China, for example? I've been thinking about that a lot. We know the link is there. We know that everything's interdependent. We're not ignorant of that. But how to give people a sense of participation with this stupa? And I've been thinking a lot about that, and that's why I said mandala. Mandala is everybody together, and as Maya Sherpa said to me, it's like a heart, and the veins bring all the blood to the heart of peace from all over the place, and that's it. Then it nourishes back. So, a mandala in Tibetan language is kolo, means wheel. It's a circle, basically, a circle. So it's a circle of peace, in a way. So we're calling this Mandala Circles for Peace. So the groups that would come together and do this practice together would be the individual mandalas everywhere, in a manner of speaking, that would join this center, be related to the central point of the unification of humanity, basically. So what is the practice that would lend to that? And I thought about it good and hard. Now, it can't have too many foreign languages in it, because then we've got the Tower of Babel problem going on. So, in our tradition, there is something called sending and receiving. We say Tong Len in Tibetan language, but sending and receiving. This is because human beings are like a transmitter and also a receiver. Our hearts and our brains are like that. Electromagnetically, we do that. In our meditation, we mount the intention to benefit all sentient beings. We mount that intention on our breath in the following manner. And then we use the breath and the mind and the speech and our body as a resonance to radiate and absorb different things. So the first thing and this is a practice that awakens great compassion. And that's what's needed to subdue one's own selfish 5 poisons, to reduce those, and to awaken empathy and great compassion for beings, and to put it into action. It's the path of the Bodhisattva, or compassionate ones. So we'd like to awaken like 100,000 compassionate ones in the world. Okay? Maybe he'll say, why stop there? Why not 1 million? So he's my type of fellow. So the sending and receiving is done in the following way. In the Tong Len, in this type of Tong Len, which comes from His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche, I received it from His Holiness Shempen Rinpoche, his son, and it is a practice where we use 3 syllables, because syllables have different qualities, how they resonate in the body. The first syllable is Om, second syllable is A, and the third syllable is Hum. And the first syllable we use, we say the syllable Om, like this. At that time you should feel that you're absorbing all the suffering of the whole world, whatever people are suffering from lack of food, uncomfortable bodies, sickness, fears, whatever it is, disturbances, confusion. With Om, you absorb all that into you. You say, I'll take it, you guys will be free of it, and you absorb it into you with Om. It sounds like a suicide path, it's not. It is the placing others above yourself, right? So with Om, we take their suffering in. With A, we transmute that, because it's just energy. It's confusion, whatever, we transmute that into clarity and wisdom and enlightenment. And then with Hum, we send it back out to the universe again, to all the beings, quelling their sicknesses, relieving the suffering and disturbances of their mind, and bringing them to enlightenment itself, or understanding. You could say brotherhood, sisterhood, whatever terms you want to use. And this is not just for human beings, but for animals, any beings that suffer. So it's a universal practice, really. So we try this together, and later I'll explain how this relates to what I would like to see happen in many different parts of the world, regardless of religion or race or gender or anything, age, for example. So together, remember, we're going to absorb the suffering with the breath and saying Om like that. And then second breath, we transmute that in ourselves, and then radiate it back out. And we're going to do this cycle 3 times, okay? So you take a deep breath. Absorb with Om. Transmute with really feel that the real suffering, the real deep suffering that is happening really is coming to you, that you feel that and you take that and you really absorb that and try to transmute that inside yourself and radiate it back out as compassion. So try from the depth of your heart to realize that this is happening and acting that. There's a merit involved in doing this. It's not a selfish thing. It is an energy you put some time into. You put your heart into it, and then you dedicate that energy so that all sentient beings are removed from their suffering and reach the stage of enlightenment and establish themselves there. So just bear that in mind and make our aspirations accordingly for world peace like that. And this practice obviously is very simple. Anybody can do it. And my hope is that wherever Lama and I go, that we'll do this and develop it, and that they'll carry on when we're not there. And that each place will eventually have a model of this stupa in the place and can see the relation of all of humanity to that